Alright, just a quick video on what I did to get my Starcraft 1701 door to latch and work properly. As you can see, there's still a pretty decent gap there. Something's clearly not altogether straight. However, beforehand, this latch would not engage whatsoever on the door jamb, and the door would not close. So I figured out that the front corner of the camper was sagging out. I could push it and move it and watch this gap close up. So my answer was to add an eye bolt to the front corner and another one down in that corner all the way through the frame to the bottom side of the trailer, a turnbuckle and a master link to hook onto there, and then cinch the turnbuckle up. Basically just had someone shove on the front corner and snug that up as tight as I could get it by hand, and voila, the door latches now. I suspect the back corner could benefit from a similar treatment, but for now, this fixed the problem. To get the eye bolt in here, my bunk's out, so it's a little bit harder to show, but these screws had to come off. This came down. Propane regulator, far side. These two screws, take this corner off, and then loosen up this top piece. All of that essentially to get this aluminum runner that holds the front panel on. And then you had access directly to the wood, located where I wanted the eye bolt to go, and added a T-nut inside of the wood here. And so that screw, or that eye bolt, is threaded into the T-nut with a fender washer and another nut on the inside, locking it down. But no holes through the outside of the camper. That's good. It really wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. There's getting this aluminum piece up. Ended up having to, again, loosen these screws so that this entire bracket will move, because this guy is sandwiched underneath everything. Once you get down to there, it'll be pretty apparent. There's 4 or 5 screws going from the top of that aluminum extrusion down into the wall, and then 3, one on each side, one in the middle, staples that hold that trim piece up. But once you get that side, and that regulator off, that whole front panel can come down a little bit, and then you've got access to everything. This was kind of I'd seen someone on a forum mention something similar, that just drove a screw all the way through the exterior, but I did not want to do that. And at the same time, my particle board cabinet top had some significant water damage on this back corner over here. And so I replaced that entire piece of particle board with some 5/8 inch birch plywood. It almost looks like it was meant to be here, but this cabinet top has 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, that go into it from the tail, or from the nose, underneath that trim piece. So I had to take the trim piece off anyways. Sure, that's not required if you don't mind poking a hole through everything, but it is a whole lot easier to see what substructure, where there is the I don't even know if it's 1 by maybe 3/4 bracing for this wall, because there is substructure there, and you want to make sure your T-nut's buried in the good wood. So that's it. Again, I still think the back end could probably stand for a similar treatment, but I suppose now if I grab it and I push on it, I guess I can move it maybe a smidge. I don't know if I'm showing it. There you go. I can move it a smidge more maybe if I shove on it, but the door stays shut, and that's the important part. So there it is.